Ben and Barry on football, www.benandbarryonfootball.com. We present the Bias Plus reports for NFL Week 9 for the 2023-24 season. Kicking it off on the Thursday night, Benny, we had the Titans, the 3-4 Titans at the 4-3 Steelers. Bias Plus 1.4 favors the Steelers. That's pretty close. That's a small bias right there, Benny. A small bias.
Yeah, it's a small bias. We got two AFC teams, one South, one North. Very similar records. One's 3-4, one's 4-3. So this promises to be a close contest. Well, on paper, it promises to be a close contest. I don't know that it actually will be. Gee whiz. These teams are tricky, man.
And so they I just said Will Levis, right? Isn't that Will Levis?
Yes. Okay. You just talked about Will Levis.
Just talked about him. They kept Derrick Henry, so he didn't get traded by the deadline. They've got DeAndre, they got Nuke, and Nuke is nuking them right now.
Well, but Nuke hasn't been nuking them. Nuke exploded when Levis exploded.
Sometimes,
Nuke's been having
sometimes it's that combination. You know what I mean? It's that You remember what I used to say about the Eagles and for the Eagles?
Who, McNabb?
McNabb, okay. When I used to say about McNabb, when Andy Reid was trying to run the West Coast offense, that he went and got the wrong quarterback. McNabb's a big, strong, mobile quarterback with a strong arm, but he wasn't accurate. He didn't have a lot of touch. So since the West Coast offense was predicated on short passes and then a run after the catch, that's what you needed. That's what made Joe Montana. But when Terrell Owens came along and opened up the field, stretched things out, 10, 15-yard pass for McNabb is no thing. He can throw that pretty accurate, as a matter of fact. And he had a guy like McNabb opening up the field, running all over the place, catching everything. So that combination kind of exploded on the scene right there. And sometimes that's what you need, That's what my man in Vegas, Devontae, that's what he don't have, that quarterback,
So I guess that's safe to say that you believe that when they decided to bring DeAndre in, that wasn't a good match with Tannehill, because Tannehill lacks the arm strength and the ability to be accurate downfield and do or throw the type of pass patterns that Hopkins is good at.
I really wasn't trying to say anything about him. I was just saying that they matched up. Him and Levis seem to have matched up well, especially on the deep ball. Now, maybe in the next game they're going to play the deep ball a little bit better now that they've seen somebody get zapped by it. But I'm just thinking about that as an analogy to with the TL thing. And I don't know, what maybe this was just something that they ran different now that they had Levis in there and when they had, the other quarterback in there. So, but bottom line, right now, you got the Titans. I'm not sure, Benny, how's our quarterback for the Steelers? Are we going to be seeing Mitchell Trubisky out there?
I don't know. Let's see. Well, Kenny Pickett himself says that he's going to be ready to go on Thursday.
Okay.
Now, it's a rib injury as opposed to these guys that say they're ready after they have a concussion. Nobody listens to that because they know it's up to the doctors. It's still up to the doctors to clear him. But usually when you have an injury like a rib injury, especially for a quarterback, it's about pain management. You know what I mean? This guy can manage the pain. He can probably play. And considering that the backup is Mitchell Trubisky, I'm sure that if he says he can manage the pain, then they'll have him out there.
They're gonna let him do it.
They'll let him do it. But yeah, as far as the Titans are concerned, Coach Mike Vrabel finally settled on who his backup quarterback is going to be because, you know, he let Malik Willis play a little, he let Levis play a little, and nobody's quite sure which way he was leaning, if in fact he had to make a move or if in fact Ryan Tannehill sustained an injury. So Tannehill goes down. He did play both quarterbacks in this game, which I shot you a text. I don't know if you saw it, but I reminded you of a quote that John Madden said, that if you have two quarterbacks, you really have none. But then he finally did settle in on Will Levis to replace Tannehill, and Levis promptly put his bid in to be the starter going forward and not just the franchise quarterback of the future.
That's an
Yes,
understatement.
he will probably be the franchise quarterback of the future, but like I said, as far as he's concerned, they can leave Tannehill on the bench, possibly trade him off to somewhere else because Will Levis looks like the guy. Now, yeah, it's only one game. Yeah, but he looked great. They defeated the Falcons 28-23. Levis threw 4 touchdown passes. 3 of them went to DeAndre Hopkins. If I remember correctly, all 3 of them were long balls. He had one to Nick Westbrook-Akine. I think that was a short one. They also got their running game going, which usually can happen when the defense can't get to your quarterback because he's quick releasing on them and busting deep yardage down the field. So then the running game opened up, and Derrick Henry racked up 101 yards on 22 carries, which is a normal day for him, or used to be a normal day for him. The defense played well also, and it's the defense, as far as I'm concerned, for the Titans that's always been up and down so far this season. But this day, they were good. They recorded 6 sacks, and they had 1 takeaway. So that was a good job done by Will Levis, good job done by the Titans. It was the Falcons, though, so again, like I said, we got to kind of wait and see about this Will Levis thing. Now, at the end of a forgetful first half against Jacksonville, quarterback Kenny Pickett of the Steelers got drilled in the ribs and couldn't return in the second half. Mitchell Trubisky took over. He did throw a touchdown pass in the third quarter, but he also threw not one, but two interceptions. One of them I remember distinctly because when they showed the replay, he threw the damn thing in triple coverage. We're going to have to bring back Trubisky in it up.
You know what that means, right?
Yes.
So something triple coverage. That means it's at least one, maybe 2 guys out there
that's wide open.
Wide open.
Exactly.
Wide.
So at the time I was getting my notes together, I wasn't sure about Pickett. Like I said, the last thing I saw was that he thinks he'll be ready to play. So we'll have to see. Considering that I believe that he will play and the Steelers are at home, I'm skeptical about this Will Levis thing. I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this one. I'm going to go with the bias.
Whoa.
That was long drawn out. That's
like
Thursday
that's
night.
predicated on turnovers more so than net points. It's that close between the 2 of them. And
okay, but guess what? That's even more of a reason for me to take the Steelers. Rookie quarterback.
Okay, all right. I hope Levis don't come out there and throw 5 touchdowns on them boys, but we'll shall see.
He might.
I just think it's hilarious. I think it's funny, to be quite honest, that he's and I am absolutely, and we talked about it, kind of amazed at his arm. Although that was what he kept saying, during the entire combine process, whatever. I got a cannon.
Yeah, he's got the arm.
Okay, you got a cannon.
No doubt about his arm strength. But we know that it takes more than that to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Accuracy, decision-making, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see.
We'll see. But right now you're going with the bias.
Yes.
Going with the Steelers.
Yes.
All right, going with the bias.